Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the top 25 ranking of non-Galactic Legend characters for February 2026. Now, this obviously is not August 2025, but that is the last time I did the top 25 ranking. So I've definitely been slacking a bit. It's been quite a while, and I wanted to throw this up here just to remind everybody of the shakeups that happened last time I did the ranking. Ezra, I finally conceded how amazing he is. Got over that bias, and I have some other for the new ranking. I have some other biases I'm trying to get over, just personal biases towards characters. There's also some new characters to shake up the rankings, so plenty of changes in February. I hope to get around to the next one in less than 6 months from now, but here's just a snapshot of what it was last time I did the ranking. But before we jump into the ranking, starting with the far right side all the way to the top 5, I just wanted to clarify I made the executive decision to exclude Era of Anniversary characters just because I do want to get around to this now. I'll rate these guys later if they make in the top 25 that make it, but we just got a hold of them for ourselves, and their experience is going to be tainted for a few months with their focused datacron, so it's really hard to get an idea of how good they are. So I'm just not including any of them, even though I have seen 1 week with Spider-Maul in there, 1 week with all of them. I faced Barris once. It's just not enough to go off of, not enough TWs, TBs, GACs, anything. So we're not going to be looking at any of those Era of Anniversary characters today. All right, finally to the ranking. So who is just completely out of the top 25 from last time? One of my favorite units, Jedi Knight Revan, and another one that's dear to me in this game, Captain Rex. Both very useful characters, mind you. I think 26 and 27 is not too bad. And Rex was the last normal marquee on this list. There is an elite marquee in Great Mothers here, and maybe there will be more later, but he just held a great spot. He was super versatile because of all of his tags, just does a lot. Really a strategic choice where you placed him, but he just can't keep up. And Jedi Revan just falls more and more into sidekick status, just a marginal upgrade as opposed to like a huge lifter or anything. So both of them are out. Starting with 21 to 25, and I'm trying to look holistically in the game, not just Grand Arena, but Grand Arena, I'll say I do consider it the most important. Conquest, very important. TW is important for some, not as important for me, but I am trying to consider that, and TB. But just all around usefulness and power for these characters. So Jedi Master Mace, maybe I'm doing him dirty. He's 25. He fell down a couple spots, and he does have some uses. He's a big hitter, and his team is pretty nice. But it's really just a big team effort, and his standalone viability is somewhat lessened. But if you give him the right datacrons, give him the right comp, he can do a lot. Jedi Knight Luke, he just sits on my bench way too much on my main account for me to like keep him super high. So 24 feels fine to him. He fell 3 spots. 2 new characters came up above all these other characters. So like if you fell just 2 slots, that means they basically treaded water compared to where they were. Traya, I bumped her down once, and Luke 3 times just because I think Traya holds her value a little bit better than Luke. Exceptions, Luke is really good at the assault battle, but that's kind of like a one-time thing, and then you're done. And TB, he's kind of useful, but again, that's lower on the priority list. And he doesn't really get as much done without combination of multiple other better Jedi in some cases, like Jedi Revan and Jedi Luke and some others. But he's still awesome. I still think he's top 25. And Traya, she just holds her value so well. That GAC Omicron is the main thing. But also, she's got a just great solid lead and solid kit all around. In Conquest, she does really well for me. And I've used her a lot more there. Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, I really love his kit. He is TW focused with his Omicrons, and he's really elevated in that game mode. But the impressive thing about him is even without any of those Omicrons in Grand Arena, he's still amazing. I love his kit that penetrates turn meter. Super useful in Conquest. And TB, I don't know, not really used much, but he is strong and has a lot of really niche mechanics that vault his usefulness. And Darth Revan, I'm particularly fond of Darth Revan, but I do think he still deserves to be in the top 25. And rank 21, maybe it's a slight nod to ships. I'm not trying to rank pilots or anything, but as the capital ship of the best fleet in the game, I do think it deserves some mention. The AoE fear, always strong, and he's still, even without Malak, in a lot of cases, can be the answer to some top-tier problems. I like Great Mothers. If you do it right, you can beat like a JML squad with him. So still really valuable, and he's not locked by Omicrons at all. So that does go for something in my book. So that's 21 through 25. And 16 through 20, we have our first new addition, the Stranger. Depending on your perspective on him, this might seem a little low. It might seem a little high. I don't know. But I felt like, given his showing before his new Maul lifter, him and Starkiller, I do think Starkiller's a little bit better than him overall. I think Starkiller is kind of the crux of that team. He definitely does elevate Starkiller, but there's some classic matchups that I might just take classic Starkiller team or Starkiller and Malicos or something, like taking on Rey or taking on Hondo. I just don't know about Stranger in those regards. So what he really adds is TBD, in my opinion, still. But I still think 16th was enough, as much respect as I could give him, just because he is a threat on defense. And the easiest way to counter him right now, I'd say, is like the Boba Fett focus Datacron, but that's like an outlier. So I try not to think of that too much. Giant Master Mace can do it. Traya can do it, but they're not like surefire things. So I did put him above them. Maul, I'm really impressed by Maul. He only fell 2 spots, so he just kind of like held his own. So kind of everyone around here, except like Trey and Luke, just held their own and maintained their spot. But Maul's super flexible. I've used him a lot more with Maul now on my main account to take down like GL Hondo. He's just has so many different uses. He used to be with Lord Vader attached at the hip. He can lead his own team. He can go with that Malicos Ufu team. Just all kinds of stuff. I really enjoy using him, and he's a great like GL cleanup. I don't know if he's like a straight up GL counter with his own team and he's the main character, but he is definitely a great add-on for a variety of teams. Jar Jar, kind of representative of the whole Gungans team. I mean, the Gungans team is just an interwoven tapestry of mechanics that you need the entire team for it to work, but he is representative of Gungans. They're a super useful utility team. They're not completely Datacron dependent for anything. His Omicrons really make them a big threat. And I have rolled at least once or twice that there's like 1 in 10,000 chance rolls of like an insta-kill or something. But his Death Rack's super useful. Frustration is very aptly named. Really frustrating mechanic. And he's just a really nice go-to for a lot of the characters higher up on this list, but not necessarily any kind of GL counter, so that's why he's only 18. Jedi Cal. I think Jedi Cal's fantastic. He kind of has the same thing going on as Jedi Luke and Jedi Revan, although a little bit less so. His insta-kill kind of can elevate him to the status of the lead singer on a team. Like, he's the main star, getting that insta-kill. Tons of passive boosts with his uniques and his different stances. Really unique kit. I really like him. What hurts him the most is he is really stupid on defense. He doesn't have any intelligence to swap back and forth between stances, so it's an extreme limitation. He's offense only, so that definitely counts against him. Even so, I still put all these 4 above Malik, although Malik, I think, has really long-lasting value. And is extremely plug and play. Like, he goes best with Sith Empire, but you can just put him anywhere. I put him on a normal Sith team in Conquest on a small account, and he is like one of the best tanks out there. With that fear, with the resistance to % health damage effects, and he can bounce back so fast. Really just a strong contender. He's not necessarily a GL counter or anything, but just in his own right, super strong. So he's coming in at number 20. 11 through 15 is where we start to get really good. Although Cat this is one of those biases I've been trying to get over that I was referencing. I think a lot of people for a long time have thought I rank Cat just too high. I finally unlocked her on my second account, the GoTanks account, where I do not have JMK, and the theory was always she is the lifter to JMK more than JMK, or like JMK is the lifter to her more than she is the lifter to him. But I could say her applications are a lot more limited than I had thought. She is good. She's really solid. I'm still keeping her at 11. That's pretty high. But she can't just take on the whole world when you put her with a Padme team. She definitely really elevates that Padme team. 3v3 is a lot more limited. 5v5 is better. I haven't taken down any GLs with her, although I have been able to take down a variety of good stuff, like a Malgus team, Dark True Moff Gideon, Almost picked Traya once, but those are, those are lower ranked teams. But I do think the value for her is she doesn't have Omicrons. She has massive stat boost for her team. The in-skill's obviously a thing, and she has unlimited scaling damage for a single target with that Force Leap. So really, really valuable still, but not. She skipped top 10 status, went straight from top 5 to top 15. Malgus, great character. I mean, he does have some soul potential, kind of like Malik. I kept him pretty high. His ship is worth a nod, but he's kind of a Swiss Army knife of non-GL counters. A lot of new things come out, and the answer is, oh, okay, let's just use Smalgus. Just because of his durability, his big hit. It's not an in skill. It's not percent health base for the opponent. It's health base for him. So he's really scalable, really nice. Darkside Ray, just a classic lifter. I mean, you could use her with like Kylo Ren and Mask, but her place is with Supreme Kylo. Really elevates that team to not only just a threat to kill an enemy team, but to do it efficiently with all of her mechanics, protection, recovery, which the team desperately needed. So I still want to give her the respect and keep her rank 13. Starkiller, I mean, he's a very evergreen character. He's mainly GAC focused, although if you have Juhani Omicron, he's going to be great in TW, and also Spider Legs Maul with TW Omicrons is really going to help him out there too. Assuming he's on the team, I think he is. I don't know. But he's just super valuable for any new account. If you're trying to get started on having teams that can take down Galactic Legends that aren't Galactic Legends themselves, he's the place to start. You can take out Array pretty decently. You could even take out JML, Sith Eternal maybe. If you combine it with Malicos, he goes up. His stock goes up a lot too, especially 3v3. But that semi-leadership that you can just throw in everywhere is really useful. People get really creative with his kit, so he deserves to stay up pretty high. And he didn't even fall 2 spots. He stayed at 14 from last time. We got Luthen at 15. I don't know. Maybe he can drop lower. He's extremely annoying on defense. You can put him either on Mon Mothma or Saw. He's only going to get better once the era of Andor's done, when he goes on that forms that new team with new Cassian. So we'll see. But with his second guy summon, Fear on the Basic, he's just really good, really strong. Throw a decent Datacron in there, can really elevate those teams too. So always a threat with Luthen there. And 6 through 10. Let me shrink myself ever so slightly. This is where I'm putting Maz Kanata. So Maz Kanata New Edition was not in the game when I last ranked. And just after the experiences I've had against her without the Pirate Datacron, that was juicing her up, I still think she is an extremely potent threat. The anti-Sith mechanics are very crippling, make her very useful. If you take her on offense, she alone is one of the big reasons people are very nervous to set Sith on defense in Kyber 1. She's not a slam dunk by any means, but she can hold against multiple GLs. Like, it's not a sure thing. JMK I lost with against her. Jedi Master Luke is going to work most of the time, so is Jabba, but, you can't just throw it on auto. You actually have to run it. So she can beat Lord Vader. Half the time, probably. Sith Eternal Emperor, just really strong. Bane is going to have a hard time against her. All those mechanics, and so much of the game is Sith. So Maz Kanata really high. I wanted to put her right in the top 10, and honestly my perception, like when I read Stranger's kit before he came out, I thought he might be a top 10 as opposed to Maz. I wasn't exactly impressed with right away until I really started to consider all the implications of her kit and then see her in action. So doing really good. Gas, treading water. He used to be really high up in the top 5, and while I did not cat down, I left him here because his kit is really versatile. New threats come out, and he can tackle them pretty easily. I don't know. And the no Omicron thing is a really high premium to me, so I kept him at 9. I've said plenty about him in the past. Great damage. He's a tank to his team. He is an attacker. He prevents his whole team from dying, so really useful on offense, and on defense, pretty hard to deal with. Queen Amidala bumped up 4 spots. She's just, I wanted to give her more respect. That's a team that, combine it with a variety of different Datacrons can help juice them up. She can take out a variety of GLs, and some of these top tier teams can be the answer. Like Ahsoka, she can take out Rey in the right circumstances. I think maybe Hondo, but just her and her two boys, Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, they combine for a seriously potent team. So I just wanted to give the respect there. Catch point, like mostly GAC focused. If you have the Qui-Gon Omicron TW, it's definitely going to help. But those mechanics are still great no matter where you are. Malicos fell down one spot. His kryptonite is just like he's pretty much only JAC, whereas Starkiller has Juhani Omicron to build him up. Malicos doesn't have anything, conversely. But the normal Zeta mechanics of his kit still do apply in TW or other areas. He still does a lot of damage, but his damage is just through the roof in Grand Arena, and I just gush over him what he does. Like it's one of my favorite boosts in the game, just doing that rock throw, just what it's gonna do. And he solves a lot of problems just on his own, or not on his own, but like you add Ball in there, you had Starkiller, and Seer, of course, it's the lead. It's just really, really useful, really valuable character. Now Bo-Katan, I bumped her up one. I think she's a little bit more useful outside of her native game mode of Grand Arena than some of the others like Malicos or Queen Amidala. At least I think. Really valuable for unlocking Mandalore, and just she can take out a variety of Galactic Legend teams. Lord Vader without clones, sometimes with clones she can do it. JML is not a bad target, JMK, so just really strong in Grand Arena. Just overall really useful, really valuable character, and not a bad farm whatsoever. So that is our 6 through 10. And last but not least, we have the top 5. So who took Cat's space? Observant watchers will notice the absence of one particular elite marquee, Great Mothers. So I bumped up Great Mothers partially just because of my experience using them with my Gotenks account. So on my main account, I have like everything usually. As soon as something comes out, I farm it. Within a couple months, I have any new legendary or GL or anything. And Great Mothers was just kind of trying to stand out among the crowd in so much. But like having her on my second account is really illuminates all the vast possibilities. I've killed Ahsoka with her multiple times. I have killed, almost came close to killing Pirate King Hano on my main account in a one shot, but I can see it happening. And that's in Grand Arena. And she is a TW focused unit. In TW, even though I weight it lower, the fact that she is a TW unit and is better there, but still can do everything everywhere else is just amazing. Conquest, she is top tier. Like, oh my gosh. Like, especially since I have so few teams on that Gotenks account. I use her in Conquest all the time. Booming Voice, forget about it. Zealous Ambition, forget about it. Like, Booming Voice especially, she takes a bonus turn. Everyone assists when she dooms someone. She takes a bonus turn to do Bless. Everyone assists. And then she's just in line normally to do her next move, her special, which is a huge AoE that'll kill the entire team if you have Zealous Ambition. And it doesn't have to be those specific Datacrons, Data Disc, even though they pop up all the time. She can carry you hardcore in Conquest. She kicks butt in Grand Arena. In TB, she has a special mission. And just in TB in general, like preventing revives is super valuable. It's just she melts people. It's insane. So I had to give her the nod to 4. I hope most people agree that she's at least top 5. Balin down at 5. His weak point is like a lot of these other characters. He's focused Grand Arena, but in Grand Arena he just kicks butt. Like JMK, basically almost a hard counter. Rey really takes down in a lot of cases. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife for taking down non-galactic legend teams. You see it, and it's a problem. Take it down like Maz is pretty hard. Balin can do it. Sometimes Queen Amidala Balin can do it. He's just really good. So, and he's pretty strong on defense too. Really flexible with that mercenary tag. You can have a variety of 4th and 5th options. But it's really hard to rate like 5 through like 8 here. Like 5 through 10, honestly, pretty hard. But yeah, it's just where I landed with it. Bane, Ezra, and Reva stayed top 3. So Reva, I did consider putting Great Mothers above Reva. But I do think Reva is the answer in a lot of cases to most of these teams. I mean, 3v3 or 5v5, she's great. TW, she's great if you have those Grand Inquisitor Omicrons. Grand Arena, a threat to multiple GLs, can take down a lot of these teams below her. Although I would take Malicos over Riva most days. But yeah, she's an answer to almost anything below her on a good day. Like sometimes it's gonna be like you're hard countered by their specific datacron or something. But with the Empire tag, Inquisitor tag, and Unaligned Force User tag, the Inquisitors almost always have a specific datacron for them, which does factor in. 3 really valuable tags there. And Ezra, I hate him. Like he's just the most annoying defensive character in the game. Like he's not balanced at all. He heals. You can't assist against him. You can't insta-kill him. He does a ton of damage. He has backup plans, so everyone's going to revive. It's just absurd, and it's really annoying. You cannot hit him. You put him with any light side GL, or not any, but like Rey, Ahsoka, JMK. I joke that Ahsoka is his wife, Rey is his girlfriend, and JMK is his best friend, so he just goes with whoever. The only light side GLs, like JML is a Jedi too, but he doesn't like jibe well with his kit just because of the isolate mechanic. Not isolate, the exile. I always mix it up. But the exile, just adding on to the ridiculous imbalanced nature of him. He taunts even though he's a support. He's a support, but he's a tank and an attacker too. It's awful. But Bane, while everyone else relies on their team, Bane does not. He just wants any Sith get out of his way. He's going to do what he needs to do. He's going to do what he does. He's going to take out everybody, everyone and everything. And then if you want to actually use him as a lifter as he was designed, you put him with Sith Eternal, and they can actually take down a lot of other stuff that neither of them could separately. So he stays the top dog, although he is offense only. That is his only kryptonite. Like on defense, borderline useless. I have never seen one on defense because people know better. And that is our top 25. So let me know what you think. It was really fun to do this ranking again. I need to get around to it a lot more frequently than every 6 months because things do change. But I'm excited to hear from you down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. See you later.